Anupam Kher, who is coming in to inaugurate the book.
Still.
बैठ के ले लो प्लीज यार, पूरा ब्लॉक हो रहा है। भाई
मोबाइल और थोड़ा ऊपर।
There are certain things in life which you sort of, I always believe that your first reaction to a person, to a situation, to a feeling is the truthful reaction. When you meet certain people, you like them or you don't like them. I always go by my first, some people call it gut level feeling, some people call it instinctive feeling, some people say that, oh, this is what. And then our mind manipulates it over a period of time, then say, no, it's not right to say the right thing, it's not. But actually the first feeling is the most important feeling. And I've dealt with my life on my first reactions, on my first feeling. So Munmun, when she met me many years back, she was a journalist in a magazine, and she had come to interview me. And there was a certain amount of earnestness in her, a certain amount of sincerity, and a certain amount of, like Hindi mein word hai bebakpana. I went to Hindi medium school, so I do not know how to translate that, but I'm sure everybody knows that. I believe in also one more theory, that there are certain relationships which are like a pause button on a tape recorder. You just have to press the pause button and it starts from where you left. She came to me, she did not even come to me this time, she just sent me a message. So she also did not say that I want you to come for the launch or I want you to launch that. She said it was her subtle way of another book. Second book she did not come to me. I don't know your reasons, so because I'm just telling you the chronological order. When I read her first book, Hushed Voices, I read it as an actor and I thought it was great pieces of performances in them. In fact, I made our students perform on those various pieces. First one I asked for to launch her book. Second one she did not come to me. Third one she also did not invite me, just she sent me a message. But there is so much of joy to do certain things for people who you believe in that you don't have to be invited, you just want to put your stamp of conviction in your mind on them, and that's the biggest test of any relationship, whether you've met them or not. So this is not for you, this is for myself. I asked, I have not read the book, so I should not pretend to sort of give you answers later on. I asked her what is the book about. I said, tell me in one line what is the book about. She went into you can't tell a novelist who has written 120 pages and tell me in one line, 250 pages. So she almost wanted to kill me with an invincible butter knife. That how dare you ask me about, but I wanted to understand what is she trying to sort of say. She said, okay, Anupam, it's about adoption. It makes it, can you stop prompting me now? Let me speak. Maximum what will happen, I'll say wrong things. Isn't life also talking about wrong things? Why should we be so perfect? I'm not perfect. Your main character is not perfect. That girl is not perfect, that's why she is so believable. Okay, now I'll speak and you will not prompt me. So A few years back, 10, 12 years back, I discovered there is much more to life than just cinema and acting. And that's when I started working with mentally challenged children opposite my house, in a special school. There was a bus overturned on Juhu Beach, and everybody was passing by, as that happens in the city. And there were these children who were petrified, who were agitated. When you see these children, you look at them a little extra. So I picked them up and dropped them to the school, and that's how my association started with the school, because the Spanish nun, Sister Dolores, did not know who I was. She did not know that I was an actor because she was busy with her work, etc. And she said, so what do you do? I said, I'm a speech teacher, which is the truth. I do speech therapy. So she said, I said, I want to teach here. So she said, what will you teach? I said, I want to spend time with them, and 2 hours in a week, and I'll work on their speech. So she said, okay. Then she said, would you like to meet the children in the classroom? And I went to the classroom, and everybody jumped at me and said, oh, we have seen you in movies, we have seen you on television, you make us laugh, etc., etc. So Sister Dolores got a little upset. She said, are you an actor? I said, yeah. She said, you work in movies? I said, yeah. She said, her next sentence really bothered me. She said, have you come to our school to learn how to do a mentally retarded person's role? And that was very sad for me. I said, no, that's not the reason I'm here. She said, no, because we don't want to do that. So then I said, I will come here for 1 year on every Wednesday, wherever I am in the world. On every Wednesday for 1 year I'll come here. But please don't tell anybody that I am teaching here. She said, why? I said, because people will think that I'm doing it for publicity. So she said, Mr. Here, then don't come and teach. Because out of 100 people, if 4 people believe you, for us, those 4 people are very important. So after that, I keep telling this story and whatever I can do. Adoption, I think, is the best form of giving life to a child who is not come out of your womb. That's why I love the title, Thicker Than Blood, because blood relationships necessarily do not do the best thing for their parents. Not necessarily, we have seen many stories. But apart from that, it's also taking charge of a child who unfortunately does not have does not have parents to sort of see him or see her grow up. So I think thanks for writing on this. Apart from that, your book is about man-woman relationship. It's also about, I think, it's also about reinventing person. That's what Munmun has done. She keeps reinventing herself. That's why she will always be contemporary. And that's what we need to learn from people like Munmun and whatever I heard about you. Whatever, I think it's really important, as people, create things which will make you feel important. We give importance to the whole world, but we don't give importance to ourselves. We want to love the whole world, but we don't want to love ourselves. Or we don't love, because unfortunately in our system, in our society, the moment you say I love myself, you're selfish. But if I don't love myself, I won't have the capability of loving another person. As a journalist, we have a relation. I have so many. Chaitanya is here, Rof is there. It's so amazing these are friends from my earlier days, Saransh days. And I believe in maintaining relationships. I believe in maintaining relationships because they are your bank of richness, of how you grow as a person. So when I meet Rof or when I meet Chaitanya or I meet Munmun, I discovered, oh, I have done so much, but still my heart is the same, because the smile we exchange with each other is the same. As far as books are concerned, I have 2 more minutes. Yes. As far as my book is not here, by the way. Title Waves. No, not Title Waves is the name of the shop, no? So I'm asking them, why isn't my book here? It's in the 18th edition. It's translated into 11 languages. It's not there. Please keep it here. I'm begging of you, please. Because for me, winning all those awards is not important. Means of course it's important, but for me to be a writer was the most important thing for me, because I never got more than 38% marks in my life. So when I'm introduced, which you did not, as author, I suddenly feel I'm important. My introduction to the books happened. I came from a poor family, and when you are in a small town from a poor family, you dream a lot, and because you think that one day life will be better, one day I'll be better, one day I'll wear better clothes, one day I'll have better food, one day my father will treat me to a better place, etc., etc. But my grandfather used to say, when you're very poor, the cheapest thing available is happiness. And in that thing, in Soviet Sangh ki kuch kitabein hoti thi, translated into Soviet Sangh from there was a treaty between Lok Kathaएं and those. A book was given to me by my uncle in my 9th standard called Mother by Maxim Gorky. So that book changed my life, and I got into a world where I was happy. I was reading books and I was saying, wow, this is the best way to get rid of your own stress. And I'm happy to say, not wanting to sort of boast, but I used to go to every Sunday flea market behind Jama Masjid and Lal Killa in Delhi and pick up books, and the most amazing books I picked up from there. I had a collection of 14,000 books, because that was the most amazing treasure that I have. And I have donated that book to my library of my school. And I feel sad that now there is, even though technically or technologically it's wonderful to read books on computers, but you don't have the feel of the books. गुलजार साहब की एक बड़ी सी पोएम है, वो मजा नहीं आता। My mother used to say, क्या कर रहा है, सेम उंगली लगा रहा, पता नहीं कितने लोगों ने पढ़ी होगी ये किताब। But the feel, the smell of the books is so amazing. So I wish you great success with this book. And on your behalf, I want to thank Jaico people also for coming up with this book. And you don't have to take 9 years to call me next time to launch your book. Unfortunately, you are stuck with me that all your books will be released by me. Okay? Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Salman, so much for saying that. I hope I can come back to you in a year's time latest, with the new book.
Don't worry about the quality of the book. I'll release it.
Okay.
So in the book, the woman is craving to have a child, and she goes to extreme measures to have the child. So besides wanting to be an actor, have you felt similarly for any other issue?
I don't have a child of my own. I have a stepson, Sikandar, who is more than a child for me. So I understand the urge to have children. We've gone through comic timings when you're wanting to have a child, because the doctor says that you have to do it at a certain time, etc., etc. You have to rush, etc., and you have to have the egg is formulated. So we have gone through the full rigmarole. It's sometimes not so funny, sometimes it's funny, sometimes it is. So I can understand what she writes and what her friend must have gone through. So urges are always there. I think it's a very not only a maternal urge, it's also a father's urge. Because actually the father wants to see a child grow up in front of him. It's apart from feeling that, wow, maine kya paida kiya hai. He has no contribution except for whatever he has. But yeah, I think it's that can leave sometime. It should not leave a woman with a sense of incompleteness. Also, the society tries and sort of tells her that, oh, you don't have a child, etc., etc. But we went through that whole phase, me and Kiran and I, and the fact that Sikandar was there, it was wonderful, but sometimes you feel. I initially never used to feel bad. Sometimes now I feel that it would have been wonderful, but that's why I work a lot with children, because that my urge. That should not be connected though, but I think my urge to be with children gets fulfilled with these special children. Recently, on my father's 4th death anniversary, I celebrate his life instead of mourning his death. So we invited about 700 children from underprivileged background, and we had a orchestra of blind people to sort of do that. So it's amazing to have any street children. I think the kind of innocence these special children have is the most amazing feeling. So I do empathize and I do identify sometimes with these people.
One more question.
No, but first of all, let me just tell you, he's another friend of mine who I have known, I don't know where he was standing, not for the last 30 years. These are all the people who said nice things about me after Saransh and did not say so much nice things about after that. But we have maintained a certain relationship. Yes, please.
My other question is, earlier the problem was how to stop it. I know you had these concepts. Right now the problem is young couple when conceive. So what do you do?
Dr. Sonawala would answer this question.
No, I'll tell you my contribution to this. I feel there's a lot of stress now.
I think in bigger cities, there was a time my mother, and I'm sure some of the ladies over here, accepted their role of being a housewife. You know, rightfully now, I think women have to work, they like to work. The world tries to make you feel incomplete. It's not your own thing. I think the world tries to make you feel. The marketing has become the most important thing. Meri kameez aapki kameez se zyada safed has become translated into real life now. So the whole thing, the stress, I must tell you one incident. I think Kiran will kill me for sharing this incident. But I have to share it since this topic. We were trying to have a baby, Kiran and I. And she used to go to Sonawala, and Dr. Sonawala, and it was not happening, etc. etc. So one day I was doing the funny song of Ram Lakhan, A-G, O-G, the Chutiya and things like that, and Dhoti and things like that. And Kiran was told by the doctor that, okay, you have discovered that ovulation period, etc. has to happen, the egg has to burst, and you have to go and sort of make love. And so she called me up. Those days mobile was not there. So she called me up on the landline and she said, please come. I said, I am doing the climax of Ram Lakhan with this Chutiya and with Dhoti and Kurta and Satish Kaushik and Anil Kapoor and Jackie Shroff, and there are 18 people on the set. I can't. She said, I'm waiting. It has to happen within the next 1 hour or 2 hours or something like that. What do I tell Mr. Wife? Also because I need to participate, because I also want to sort of, we've been wanting to have child for the last 3 years. So I told Mr. Ghai, and sir, I have to go. He said, पागल हो गया? तेरा ही एंट्री है? हुआ क्या है? मैंने नहीं, इनकम टैक्स की रेड हो गई है. That was those days. That was the only reason one understood. When I reached home, she looked at me. She said, "Go back. Don't expect me to this chutiya and this dhoti and this thing like that." So I have a knack of looking at all the serious events of my life, and I look back. The only way to look back and sort of grow out of them is to look at honey. But when that is happening, I think it's not the best thing that is happening. But I think it's so wonderful to be able to look back. You cannot keep on talking about your self-pity is the most unattractive thing in the world, especially in a man. No, especially in a man. Means I'm sure that nobody loves me syndrome kind of a thing, darling. Nobody loves me. I think we need to get out of it. And so I think we need to live life on daily basis. We're talking about marketing. the stress that we were talking about.
Right.
I think there's 100 people, 200 people over here. Everybody is a persona. Everybody is a personality. As long as we think that we are the best thing that has happened to ourselves, it will be easier to sort of, because the more you think about it from the other point of view, I think you can become difficult. I hope that answers your. I think we have the urge to belong to people. That's what we want to be. We want to matter in somebody's life. Whether that's our boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife. The only people we take for granted is our parents.
Okay.
And their love. I think it's, in a man, I feel, even though I have not experienced in that sense, but I think it's in a man to see, to me it's more important to see a life taking place and then life becoming bigger and the life taking a shape than the sense of wonder that it is. The first word coming out, the first time a child walks. I think that whole journey, I think, is fantastic. But I'm sure for ladies and for women, it must be something else. I believe that the women are much more stronger than men because, much more stronger than men because God has entrusted the whole thing to a woman to give birth to another life. But technically, scientifically, I have no actual answer for you. It's just that and it's also not कि मेरे खानदान का नाम रोशन करेगा, type or करेगी. I think it's just a basic urge to sort of see life growing up in front of you. That's what I feel. I don't know whether that answers your question or not.
And everything happens by Skype, remote control, or occasional kind of contacts. And it's as good as, the children are not existing around them. It's just a casual kind of courtesy exchange of calls. And when there is any emergence, the senior citizens do not have their children around them. It's the neighbors who come during an emergency. So I just want your comments on this kind of a scenario.
In your question is the unfortunate part of the situation. That's why I say that I think we are very lucky to be born in this country. Over here, there are neighbors, there are people who look after older people, etc. So it happens quite often that all the children are settled abroad. Forget about settled abroad. We will go into another discussion. People leave their aged parents. We've had horrible incidents where people just desert them completely. But that's unfortunate. You can't comment on it. Everybody knows that that's the worst thing that can happen to anybody. But that's why I say that over here, we still know who our neighbor is. Okay? But in America or anywhere, it is taken for granted that after the age of 13, the son or child will not sort of have nothing to do with the parent. They will go ahead. And the old age home, etc. is there. This is a personal confession that I want to make today, that my ultimate aim is to, maybe in another 4 or 5 years, to have a very model orphanage built. That's what I have working towards. It will take 4, 5, 6, 7 years. Because unfortunately our orphanages are not the best places. And I visit, any new city that I visit, I go to an orphanage. And I want to build, this is a dream, and I believe in Kuch Bhi Ho Sakta Hai, my theory of my life, that it will happen. I want to build a model fun orphanage to say about when you become a star, new star, you start earning money. The first thing you do is people tell you should join a health club and you should have a farmhouse. Both the places were disaster for me. In health club, everybody is doing nothing, pretending to sort of go to the steam and sort of come out and feeling fresh. I had never depended on muscles. I thought six packs need to be here. Who have them, I'm very proud of them. Then I bought land in Karjat, 5 acre land. At that time, I don't know, it was I think 2.5 lakhs of rupees, and I said, this is going to be my house. I will be driving through and then live life inside, etc., etc. I never visited that place 20 years. Never. Then I came to know that somebody has encroached upon that. And it became close like a Ghosla situation. And I sent my office people, I said, just change this whole scenario. This is the place we are going to build an orphanage. So an orphanage where people will really, children will really be happy. I think everybody makes an effort in their own manner. I think it's, you can't say that. I've heard horrible stories that a couple with their children and their aging mother took her to the airport and then told her mother, 80-year-old mother, that "Aap yahan baitho." Sold the house outside in near Juhu. "Aap yahan baitho, hum aate hain." Took the flight and left. So she kept waiting for 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours. Then the official said that, "Aap kya kar rahi hain hamaari yahan par?" She said, "Mere bacche bol ke gaye." And they said that flight has gone 4 hours back. She came back, she had no place, because that place that she was living in, which was a small house, was sold by her children. So I think sometimes it's important to talk about these stories so that things are different. I don't know. Let's not change. Let's not talk about this. Munmun Ghosh, thicker than blood. Everybody, please buy from this place. This is the best book. We are the living example of our young lady who suddenly decided after 3 years what you need to do in life. We have an amazing couple with 2 children. We are talking about that. So this is the book of the year, Munmun, and I will request everybody to buy it now. Okay? Thank you.
सर यहाँ पे लास्ट कॉर्नर सर लास्ट कॉर्नर अनुपम सर एक यहाँ पे सर यहाँ पे सर अनुपम सर यहाँ पे देखिए अनुपम जी अनुपम सर वन लास्ट कॉर्नर